Hola. In Spanish, there are 3 types of stem-changing verbs: E to IE, O to UE, and E to I. Well, there is a U to UE, but there's only one, and that's jugar. In this video, we're going to focus on E to IE stem changers in the present tense, but the steps would be the same for the other types as well. Before watching this video, you can review how to conjugate tener, that's an E to an IE stem changer, or how to conjugate regular verbs in the present tense by clicking on the links in the video description. If you recall from the tener video, it conjugates a little differently from the regular ER verbs in the present tense. Do you remember that the E in the tener changed into an IE for all the pronouns except yo, nosotros, and vosotros? This happens for a large group of verbs, and we like to call this group the stem changers. Let's see an example of how to work with these verbs. Let's start with entender, to understand. Now, can you match the different forms to the correct pronoun? Remember to look at the endings. Pause the video to give yourself time to think. Okay, you should have come up with yo entiendo, I understand. Tú entiendes, you understand. Él, ella, usted entiende. He, she, it, or you formal understands. Nosotros entendemos, we understand. Vosotros entendéis, y'all understand. And ellos, ellas, ustedes entienden, they or you all understand. Now, the only difference between these verbs and other present tense verbs you've worked with is that these verbs have an E that changes to an IE for all the forms except nosotros and vosotros. You can help yourself remember by thinking nosotros no, as in no stem changes happen for the nosotros verbs. Now, there are a lot of verbs like entender, a verb that has an E to an IE stem changer. A few of the common ones are cerrar, to close, comenzar, to begin, empezar, also to begin, querer, to want or to love, pensar, to think, perder, to lose, preferir, to prefer, and of course tener, to have. But you might also hear that one called a yo-go verb. Notice that these are a mix of AR, ER, and IR verbs, but they are all E to IE stem changers. So how will you know which E to change to the IE? Well, the best answer is to practice, of course, but as beginning Spanish learners, these steps can help you. Step 1, drop off the ending, the AR, the ER, or the IR. Step 2, now going from right to left, find the first E, and that's the one that would get changed. An alternate way is to hear where the stress is when the word is pronounced, and that is the letter that's changed. Don't worry if you can't do that yet, but keep practicing, and it'll happen. Why don't we try to conjugate a few? Let's start with pensar, an AR verb, which means to think. Pause here if you would like to try it on your own before I show you the answers. Okay, so did you get yo pienso, I think? Tú piensas, you think. Él, ella, usted piensa, he, she, it, or you formal thinks. Nosotros pensamos, we think. Now remember, nosotros no. The nosotros form does not have a stem change in it. Vosotros pensáis, y'all think. And ellos, ellas, ustedes piensan, they or you all think. Now you can rewind and go back if you would like to view that again. If you're ready to move on, we are going to look at the verb preferir, an IR verb, which means to prefer. Pause here if you would like to try and conjugate on your own, and remember the steps. Okay, did you get yo prefiero, I prefer. Tú prefieres, you prefer. Él, ella, usted prefiere. He, she, it, or you formal prefers. Nosotros preferimos, we prefer. Again, remember, nosotros no. Nosotros form usually has no changes. So this means there was no stem changing and the ending stayed at I rather than change to the E that we see happen in other IR verbs. Vosotros preferís, y'all prefer. And ellos, ellas, ustedes prefieran, they or you all prefer. Okay, well, why don't we try a verb that ends in ER, querer, which means to want or to love. Pause here if you would like to try it on your own. Okay, did you get yo quiero, I want or I love? Tú quieres, you want or you love. Él, ella, usted, quiere, he, she, it or you formal wants or loves. Nosotros queremos, we want or love. Again, notice no stem changing. Vosotros queréis, y'all want or love. And ellos, ellas, ustedes quieren, they or you all want or love. Okay, if you need more review before it is time to try it on your own, feel free to rewind. Otherwise, te toca a ti, it is your turn. Conjugate the verbs below, remembering to change the E to an IE. Also, please pause the video if you need it to give yourself time to think. Okay, let's check our answers. Did you get, for número uno, tú cierras, you close. Dos, Charlie comienza, Charlie begins. Tres, nosotros empezamos. Cuatro, yo entiendo. 5, ellas piensan. 6, ustedes pierden. And last, 7, ella prefiere. Okay, now let's try translating a few sentences. Use the word box if you need it, and pause the video to give yourself time to think. Did you get? ¿Cuándo comienza la clase or empieza? Note, there is no Spanish translation for the English word does when it's used like this. So you are literally asking, when class begin? Número 2. ¿Quién prefiere el azul? 3. Paco siempre piensa en pizza. Notice that pensar en means to think about something. 4. Los estudiantes no entienden al profesor. 5. Él pierde. 6. Su hermano quiere Taco Bell. 7. ¿Empieza tu libro? And 8. Las muchachas nunca cierran la puerta. Muy bien. Hopefully this video was helpful. Feel free to rewind and look it over as many times as you need to until you feel comfortable. Until then, gracias y nos vemos.